Today we're talking about the Nintendo Switch. You know, the Nintendo Switch has been out several years, has several classics on it. Everything from Mario, Metroid, and Zelda, all represented on this very popular hybrid portable console. And you know what? You're going to have your favorites, and I know I have mine. I've been collecting it for several years. And, you know, there's lots of great games on this platform. But we're not talking about any of those. We're talking about the worst of the worst, bad games. And today I picked five. Five games that I think are some of the worst games on the Nintendo Switch. Some of these you may have heard about, others may not. And my final number one pick, wow. All I can say is wow. So sit back, relax. You may want to grab some popcorn. Here we go. First up was an early release on the eShop, and it's Vroom in the Night Sky. And I paid for all these games I showed in this video. $10 eShop game, and wow. All I can say is, holy cow, this game is broken. This garbage game essentially has you flying around these little 3D arenas. Control is terrible. You're constantly kind of drifting down, and all you're doing is flying through rings. Or, get this, you can shoot at them, and meaning that you don't even have to fly through them. And you also pick up these shards, which you can pick up and get different vehicles. The translation to English is broken. There are enemies that appear in each level, but they never attack you, and they don't threaten you. And so it's just there with terrible broken translated English. Oh man, so bad. You know, you thought Superman 64 was bad. This might be a competitor for it. I think Destructoid rated it as a 1 out of 10. You can go to Moby Games to see the other reviews for this. One of the worst games on the Switch, hands down. And it's just unnecessary. You know, the graphics, I would say the graphics don't look bad. So I'll give it that. You can pick up different racers in the shop. And it's just completely boring. This is a boring game. Controls do not serve this well at all, and it's slow. I'm sure you can pick up faster bikes, but avoid this early eShop release, as I think it's one of the worst on the Nintendo Switch eShop that I've played. Avoid this train wreck of a game. Decent graphics don't make a good game. And Ancient Rush 2: The Lost Treasure, I do believe it's on Steam as well. Didn't find much about this game. Some people said they liked this. I do not like this game whatsoever. Ancient Rush 2 tries to mix up the formula where you can add upgrades to your ball and you have magic, and I didn't find that helped at all. And holy cow, I totally thought this game was broken, as the ball mechanics are slow and simple, and it doesn't matter. Items on the maps and each level take multiple hits, and it is just boring. This game should have been so much better. Like, even with the perks of, you know, adding different abilities to your ball, it didn't matter what I did. When I played a level, it just was totally broken. I spent so much time trying to figure out different angles and mechanics to figure out how to destroy items, and it was slow. And this is everything you wouldn't want in a game. The graphics, not bad. Okay, another game where the graphics aren't too bad. But the gameplay is so broken. I wanted so much more out of this, you know, breakout meets like, you know, an RPG or adventure game. And man, absolutely hated this game. You go on Steam and some of the user reviews reflect that. Some people like this. I did not like this game whatsoever. You know, either do a breakout game or something else. And sometimes when you combine genres, this is an example of it not working at all. Avoid this mess. Play another Breakout clone, or just play Breakout. This next game, Tiny Racer, came out in 2020 and just feels unfinished. You know, I like circuit racers. You know, Nintendo Switch has many other racing games that are awesome. This one just seems to have broken design. You get stuck, you have to automatically respawn. And by the time you figure out a course, it's too late. You're way behind. You're not going to get first. I felt that the computer, the CPU competitors are unfairly matched. I liked the track design and what they were trying to do with the graphics, but having all the depth blurred, I just don't think works for a racing game. I just think that was kind of a silly oversight, And for me, you know, I want to see what's coming up ahead of me, not some big blurry mess. And you know, the big deal with this game is the physics. The physics just are really bad. You're constantly going off course. You have to reset. And I thought, okay, I'll try another track to see if it was just, you know, bad track design for that first course. Nope. Continuously having issues when you hit cars. You veer off course, and you know, the control is just an absolute train wreck. And I just found myself falling and not landing correctly, having to reset and respawn. And when you do that, you're far behind. There's no way you can catch up to first place. You know, you might be able to get third place at best, because it seems like it was either rushed out or incomplete. And there's so many other circuit racers that are better. Avoid this one for sure. The good news about this next game, The Elder Scrolls Blades, is initially, if you want to check it out, it's free. The bad news is this is a freemium game that's just gone wrong. I hate the controls in this, you know, free to play, but then there's timed actions that you do in this game where you're spending real money to get gems to progress in this game. I absolutely do not like this game at all. Maybe you're a fan of these types of games where they take, you know, popular franchises and make a free version of it. Diablo Immortal comes to mind. I didn't like that either. I think it dilutes the all-time classics that the company has made. I mean, Skyrim is one of those games. I would recommend that to any action RPGer to play. It's absolutely brilliant and fantastic, and the Switch version is solid, a solid release. And then you got garbage like this, where I think it takes away from an all-time classic. It dilutes it into a money-grubbing experience. And I'm sure this is going to make money, and I'm sure there's people that like it. It's a total grind type of game. Now, if you like that, and you want to spend hours upon doing repetitive action and motion, I don't have that time to do that, A. And B, I would play the actual better version of this type of game, which is Skyrim. And so I just don't see the need for this. And some people will say, well, it's free. Well, eventually you're probably going to spend your own hard-earned money on this. Now, there's a crafting system in this game which is less broken, but the combat and the dungeons just don't do justice. Graphics aren't great whatsoever. Avoid this train wreck of a mess and play an actual Elder Scrolls game. I like myself some cute platformers, and I saw this on the eShop for a couple bucks. Mysterious Adventure of Michael. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Oh boy, holy cow. This is an inferior rip-off Mario clone, and I can't believe Nintendo is allowing this on their eShop. Just proof that their seal of quality is completely broken. And you know, this really shouldn't be on the eShop, even though it's a couple bucks. I mean, it's just a totally rip-off of Super Mario Brothers, and they're allowing it on their store. And there's even a sequel of this too. I haven't played that, and this is a good example of kind of what you find on the eShop. You see it flooded with these kind of like cheap old Flash games that have been ported from Steam. This is on Steam as well. And you know, the second level is a little different. It's more like an Everrunner, and this is just absolute garbage. You know, this just does not need to be on the Switch. You know, I could see this maybe as a free, you know, iPhone game. That's one thing, but it's just complete garbage. And this is a good example of just what I hate sometimes about these cheap releases, as people get, you know, conned into spending a couple bucks and playing garbage like this. Absolute mess. The boss fights I even found fairly challenging. Kind of takes a little bit from a Mario 3 style, where you have to, you know, jump on top of an enemy. Just total garbage. I absolutely hate this game. I absolutely think it is one of the worst games on the Switch library for an eShop download, even for a couple bucks. Ooh, there's some stinkers there. There's several others I could have chosen. What are your picks? In the comments below, let me know. And as always, thank you for coming to my channel. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.